Right, hello folks. Firstly, a bit of housekeeping. Um, I think on the thing that you did on Thursday, there was a question that I got wrong on the forum talking about which one of these is not. It should have been which of these is. So that kind of got messed up. It was which is a physiological um, issue. Remember, things can be structural. If it's physiological, it's how it works. So I think it was to do with how its hemoglobin worked was the answer that I wanted, but the question was wrong. So apologies about that. And I'm going to look through your adaptations of your organisms after this. So what you should have read about last time was about adaptations, and then it just goes into these ones that live in extreme conditions. So what is the most extreme organism on Earth? If we're in class, we'd do some microscope work here to have a look at them. But yeah, is it humans? Is this person extreme? Yeah, do some extreme trail bike riding. Extreme climber. This is an extreme. It's called extreme ironing, where you try and iron in extreme places. So this person's on looks like a water ski. Ironing. This person's ironing in the back of a helicopter. Looks like a Chinook of some description. White water rafting whilst ironing. Again, are humans the extreme ones? Ironing in the Arctic or in a glacier somewhere. Oh yeah, ironing between rocks. Again, amazing. This person's ironing on the back of someone who's hang gliding. Again, extreme. This person's doing some extreme planking. I think there's some Photoshop at play there. But yeah, there was a craze a few years ago where people did planking in extreme places. Yeah, so are humans the extreme organisms? Well, to be classed as extreme in biology, you need to live in and survive in extreme abiotic conditions. Okay, and when we talk about abiotic conditions, we're talking about things like high temperature, um, you know, um, no water, things like that. Okay, this is what we would have looked at if we were in class because this lives in moss. I normally bring in some of my gutter moss from the gutter outside my house, and we can normally find these things. These are called tardigrades. And I know, and it's quite extreme living in a gutter because it's either full of water or it's completely dry, as in gutters dry really, really quickly. So it is quite extreme to live there. But they've taken these guys into space and they can survive the vacuum of space. They've blasted them with high energy ionizing radiation and they seem fine. Yeah, so this is a tardigrade. Taken with a scanning electron microscope. They're kind of like transparent when you see them under a microscope. But yeah, they have these little tubular mouths and little kind of claw feet. They also call them water bears. This is its egg. Again, beautiful egg. Again, that is a thing of beauty. Has it got the most beautiful egg on Earth? Who knows? And yeah, there's many different species of tardigrade. This is more of an armored one. Yeah, the hard tardigrade. But yeah, they call them water bears or a moss piglet. You wouldn't call that a moss piglet. In Avia. Anyway, they are microscopically small. You can see them at about times. Well, you do see them at times 40 on on the lowest power on a microscope, but they are tiny there, so you won't see them with the naked eye. But there are many species. Again, if you're bored, go on YouTube, type in tardigrade, and there's loads of super videos about tardigrades and how amazing they are. But they're not on our syllabus. So, oh yeah, and they can do this. They can basically just like scrunch into themselves. Okay, so they reduce their surface area, therefore they can survive in very arid conditions, no water. So they prevent themselves from desiccating, losing lots of water. Yeah, again, surface area crops up laws of biology. So the boring bit, you need to know these facts. So pop the title down in your book. It's Extremophiles. If you're a phile, you like something. If you're a bibliophile, you like books, for example. 18th to the 5th, put the date, keep on it, keep those underlines going. And then, yeah, we just need to know the organisms that have adaptations that allow them to survive in extreme abiotic conditions. That's what extremophiles are, and then that might be high temperature, high pressure, or high salinity, which means high salt concentration. And both of these two, high temperature and high pressure, are found where these bacteria live. It's bacteria living in deep sea volcanic vents, or extremophiles. Yeah, so these are yeah, they call them hydrothermal vents, and there's a video to watch. It's 10 minutes long that shows you these deep sea hydrothermal vents. You know, when you did like the rocks in chemistry, and the tectonic plates are moving apart the mid-ocean, that creates a mid-ocean ridge, and therefore volcanic activity takes place there, and therefore this superheated water that's there, and these bacteria that live there, and they're the basis for the food chain. They don't use light. Well, sorry, they are producers, but they don't do photosynthesis because there's no light penetrates deep enough. But they do a form of it called it's like it's chemosynthesis. So they use sulfur compounds that bubble out of the earth, and they oxidize them, and from there they can get energy available to them, so they can actually make their own glucose from the carbon dioxide and water that's plentiful down there. So yeah, those are the extremophile organisms that we need to know about. Okay, it's where we get really lots of useful enzymes from these bacteria, because it means that we can use their enzymes at high temperatures. So their enzymes don't denature at high temperature, so you can have high reaction speeds that you get at high temperature, and you've got an enzyme there that speeds it up even further. All this coronavirus, people doing these swab tests, they're using enzymes from those bacteria to actually amplify the viral genetic material. It's called PCR, the polymerase chain reaction. Again, it's using enzymes that were found in these bacteria. Again, amazing stuff. Right. So you've watched this. I'm giving like a little overview on, because someone asked about where's it all fit in. So there's a thing to watch where I just kind of go through the pathway where carbon dioxide can take. And then there's that video to watch, and that's all there is for today. So I shall leave you there, and yeah, don't do anything too extreme. Remember, be cautious. Now is not the time for being extreme. Don't go around doing some extreme ironing in the Lake District, staying overnight and things. Yeah, nasty.